The Willows by Jess Marshall. This is the story of my university friends, collectively called Willow, or The Willows, after the university halls where we all lived in first year. This story comes in 7 parts, 1 part for every letter of the word Willows. Each letter stands for one defining word that correlates to each member of Willow. Welcome to the story of the Willows. W. W is for walk, and walk equals Dan. This old black, grease-stained wok is Dan's cooking weapon of choice. Features of the wok include unsanitary bowl, scratches, fire-damaged bottom, random numbers, black plastic handle, sticky other handle, and crusty bits of food. Dan uses this wok for anything that involves frying. Most notably, sweet potato curry, or just something he can tip frozen veg into. A problem with Dan's wok is that it's massive. Another problem is that it's massive. The wok is a beast, and it leaves little room for other saucepans and frying facilities. Consequently, the wok is scorned, especially by Lauren.
Stupid, impractical wok!
The wok has been part of Dan's life for 4 long years. It has seen angry Dan,
Fuck off, I obviously got the ball.
violent Dan,
If anyone knocks on my door, I'll butcher them with a spoon.
cocky Dan,
It's like with my degree, if it's not first, it's failure.
and caring
I'd
Dan.
rather you lay on me than anything else.
A special talent of Dan's is his ability to make everything seem like a constant struggle. Even his choice of footwear screams, struggling man. In fact, if Dan's life was a visual metaphor, it would probably look a lot like this. Dan and I have an odd relationship. On my 21st birthday, he wrote on my wall the definition of the word frenemy.
Frenemy, a rivalry which combines the characteristics of friendship and complicated animosity.
I think this best sums up our relationship. We carry a mutual respect for one another's insults. For instance, I'm still reeling from this photo edit. Occasionally, Dan and I exchange a hug. Normally it's at the start or the end of the semester. The hugs punctuate the opening and closing of a successful 3 months of savage pars and scathing remarks. I relish the hug symbolically, not sentimentally. In a moment of weakness, I would go as far as to say that Dan is actually a mate. In a moment of extreme weakness, I would even go as far as to call him one of the most interesting people I know.
Sally's?
He has a curiosity for things that I like. In 3rd year, we'd often have very deep philosophical or theoretical conversations over breakfast.
Back from whence you came, demon!
He's also thoughtful. One day he brought an injured bird back home and tried to feed it and give it water. Not enough men these days give injured birds a second chance. It feels really wrong to be nice about Dan, so I must end this on an abusive note. Dan, I chose wok as your defining word because a kitchen utensil is the most noteworthy thing about you. I is for introductions, and introductions equals Matt. Let me introduce you to Matt.
Hello?
Matt looks like this. Matt sounds like this.
Patience.
This is me and Matt dressed as a dog and a snake. These are his fancy superhero themed pyjamas, his super fast gamer computer. This is Matt trying to juggle, Matt blowing a party blower, Matt's shoes. This is his impressive collection of shot glasses. This is the cute cuddly toy he keeps on his bed. And this is his bike, glasses, food cupboard. This is Matt spraying cream on me.
Okay.
I really like Matt. He's great at introducing new people to other new people. He's a gluer, creating adhesive bonds between his numerous friends. Matt's joined a lot of university societies over the years, ranging from Assassin Society to Humanist Society, Taekwondo to Salsa. Matt's a chameleon. He can fit in anywhere with anyone.
You're supposed to stop recording when I go to swig so I don't actually have to drink it.
This makes him perfect for his unofficial role of pre-drinks masters of ceremonies. He commands the drinking games. Matt asks you,
Red or black?
you answer. He always ends up with the cards, like the conductor of a rowdy inebriated orchestra. You want a drink? Matt's your dealer. What's more, Matt has a gift. Well, gift/curse. He's really good at puns. Literally the second after a sentence leaves your mouth, Matt fires back with a wordplay. He's like a slot machine. You put a sentence in one ear and 2 seconds later a pun falls out of his mouth. Here is a list of words you can't say in front of Matt if you want to avoid a pun. Jam, sack, ram, nail, wine, sausage, fork, grate, fracking. But most of all, Matt is a stand-up gentleman. He doesn't discriminate, and he rarely has a bad word to say about anyone. Thanks, Matt. L. L is for library, and library equals Jess. Jess is Danish and is therefore better at life, living, and being alive. Most of the time, Jess just gets called Danish, or in formal situations, Danish Jess. I have a theory that Danish was sent to us from the future. She just seems to know things. She was the first to discover the library to good grade ratio, and we've been learning from her ever since. At least that's what we tell her. Really, we just include her in stuff because she looks Asian, and we needed an ethnic minority in the group. Jess's dedication to the library is so sacred that there is literally no footage of her at the library. She often left to go there under the cover of darkness, and would only appear later in the evening to cook flødekartofler.
Flødekartofler, a Danish calorie bomb that consists of potatoes and heart attack amounts of double cream.
However, once, in the library, I saw her stuff. It was left unattended on a desk on the 3rd floor. Her pen was still hot. I had missed her by seconds. Jess taught me how to library after she realised I hadn't been there for the whole of the first semester. She also taught me how to benefit from sucking up to your lecturers, and stealing from the floor of clubs, and dancing like no one is watching. I think Jess embodies the surprise factor of uni. You look at a person, and you think you know exactly what they're going to be like. But then you meet them, and you get to know them, and you realise that they're one of the most surprising, mysterious people you know. Like one time we were at another person's flat for pre-drinks, and Danish found a nice cream scoop and ice cube tray in their kitchen drawers. Our flat had neither of these things, so she just took them. I love that. I like that the girl who dedicates so much time to the sensible cause of education also steals things. L. L is for lady, and lady equals Lauren.
I'm so pale.
Lauren Gilson. Pronounced Lauren if you're Danish Jess. Lauren is most certainly Lady of the Willows. Because she buys her clothes from Jack Wills, had a gap year, and pronounces the T's in the word butter,
Butter.
we think she's posh.
Fatty chirps. What does that mean?
She's also really classy. Sensitive viewers, please turn away.
Babushka. I want a prize to a Mexican restaurant that gives you the shit.
4 monkeys. Whitney, can you please pass the peas?
Cervical erosion. No.
Lauren is the modern woman. She slays with the sewing kit, downs the dirty pint, and she fixes the oven. She's tough. When Lauren broke her foot in 2nd year, she barely complained. She just powered through. Once, she even did a fish finger sandwich. I remember about 2 months into the first year of uni. After coming home from a night out, Danish Jess and I told Lauren that when we had first met her, we had found her really intimidating. This made her cry, and we felt terrible. We bought her Ben & Jerry's the next day to say that we were sorry. Little did we know that Lauren tends to drunkenly cry most nights. Or maybe not most nights, but at least quite a lot. Anyways, what I never got the chance to explain was that the only reason I found Lauren intimidating when I first met her is because she seems to be so good at everything. She gets all the S's. She's sporty, smart,
Don't choose dad.
social, sane-ish.
We were playing backseat on the bus together. We're playing what?
When Lauren went off to Australia for her study abroad in 3rd year, I wrote in her leaving scrapbook, "If I ever have a daughter, I hope she'll be like you." And I really meant that. O. O is for ooze, and ooze equals George.
What are you looking at?
George oozes likability. Everyone loves George. If I knew what made people like George so much, I would bottle it and sell it. I suspect it's his laugh. His laugh is really infectious. Possible contributing factors for George's ooze are an unbelievable memory for Eurovision entries since 2001,
They have never won in all 53 years.
a curiosity for Asian men, a face carved by angels, and a sense of humour carved by demons. Oh, and his Snapchat stories. You click on that little circle and you just know it's going to be gold. George is so charming he could be slagging off your own mother and you would still buy him a drink.
I can't concentrate on my work because it's snowing, oh my god.
But there is one thing I cannot abide. One unforgivable habit of George's that sends chills down my spine. George's creepy crawl. I have a genuine fear of people crawling quickly on all fours thanks to George. He'd often strike late at night, when I was the last to go to bed normally. Most of the lights would be off, and I'd head to the kitchen for a wee cup of water, and then he was always there, waiting for me. I remember how in 1st year, we would all crowd in George's room to watch questionable TV, play with knives, or wax his back.
Yes. Oh!
And we'd always pray that George would get the hint and open his magic drawer, which isn't a euphemism.
The magic drawer. A legendary bottom drawer in George's desk, which is always full of sweets, snacks, and other hangover cures.
We would patiently wait in anticipation before George would give a small sign or a small comment that indicated the opening and consuming of the drawer was now permissible.
Peasants, you may take from the magic drawer now.
The truth is, George is one of the most likeable people I know.
I threw your shit into the stairs. I don't care.
Wait a minute, what does George need to repeat?
Something about glimmers. I
Glimmers?
don't want the glimmers.
Everyone likes him, and everyone confides in him. That's why his glasses are so big. They're full of secrets. W. W is for what, and what equals Adash.
You won't regret it. You won't. It's life.
Whenever Adash opens his mouth, the word is normally written on people's faces. Often he starts a sentence, and I don't think even he knows where it's going to end up.
Bow down before your king.
One of Adash's greatest loves is talking about Poland. He is half Polish, and he doesn't mind telling you about it.
Poland. Poland. Poland.
Poland.
Poland.
Poland.
Poland.
Poland.
Poland!
Poland.
Adash will always find a way of working the subject of Poland into a conversation. His most effective tactic is to ask you a baited question, and then when you have finished answering it, he will relate your answer back to Poland. For example, once whilst in conversation with Danish Jess, Adash asked if there were any fountains in Denmark. Danish replied and she said, "Yes, fountains have reached Denmark." And Adash replied, "Well, you know there are fountains in Poland too."
Poland!
A favourite hilarious pastime I like to do from time to time is watch Adash watching his teams play football. It's like he goes through a bizarre crisis of self, one that fluctuates somewhere between passion and dark pain.
Worst thing he could have done.
Go on.
I fit Gabriel Jesus now.
By the laws of football, that's a foul!
I'm wondering if he's not the better first option. We can't do that. Come on, City. What the is Bravo doing? No!
Adash's mornings are often spent here. He even has a Polish dictionary in here. Dan's room shares a wall with the toilet. And Dan doesn't need an alarm. He gets woken up by Niagara Falls every morning. God knows how Adash's tapeworm has survived this long. I make fun of him a lot, but the people you like the most you tease the most. The truth is that the boy only ever has good intentions. I don't think a vicious, calculated, or hurtful thought has ever entered his mind. He's like the family dog, bouncy, eager, requires attention, but above everything, he's incredibly loyal. You'll miss him when he's not around. Just love him back and he'll be your best friend forever. What's more, he is always 100% his own person. And he isn't afraid to stay out of the box. In fact, I think Adash lost sight of the box a very, very long time ago. S. S is for style. And style equals Meg.
Come and get me, boys.
Meg's got style. Long dresses, short dresses, vintage, designer, dress down, dress up. Whatever the occasion, Meg has an outfit for it.
Oh yeah.
Her wardrobe is a shop in itself. Once, towards the end of third year, Meg was having a clear out of her clothes, and she said I could take whatever she was throwing out. Literally every time I get a compliment on my outfit, it is always because I'm wearing one of Meg's items of clothing, including this t-shirt. When I wear this t-shirt, I think of Meg. Beautiful, crazy Meg.
Megan, did you eat all the Nutella again? Are you sure?
Meg's talents surpass style. She also boasts an impressively poor geography, an ongoing love affair with wine,
Then we drank red wine. Then we went to the pub. Can you please go, Fred?
and an inability to make it through an LCR club night. Oh, and I'm also pretty sure she was part of a cult at some stage. Meg also likes to experiment with cooking.
What did we make, Meg?
Sweet potato, deep fried in sugar.
How'd you eat it?
You dip it in water,
That's nice.
and then you try not to break your teeth. And that's stuck in my teeth.
She also likes to spice up her liver abuse. And once she decided to buy chocolate wine, which sounds amazing in theory, but we all quickly realised that chocolate wine has more in common with the taste of bleach than chocolate or wine. Here is something you should know about Meg. She buys great quality toilet paper. Always soft, always durable, always strong, often something in a pastel pink or a burnt orange. I remember once, Dan asked Meg why she always buys such expensive toilet paper for the house. Her reply? Because I wipe my vagina with it, Dan. I love that.
Just sitting on my bed completely naked, contemplating life, and I was like, I love Willow.
And that was university. My whole university experience manifests itself in these 7 individuals. Because when you arrive at uni, all you're thinking is, God, I hope I can make some friends. If I make some friends, then I can survive this place. And I got so lucky. I didn't just make friends, I had the university friendships that you dream of. The kind you think only exist in movies and TV shows. And I'll miss everything. I'll miss the inside jokes, the pranks. I'll miss that constant stream of silliness that comes out whenever we're together. And it makes me feel so happy that one day I can show my children this and tell them the story of the Willows.